And now, so doing these challenges and, starting on social media, you've amassed a huge following, right? And it's cool doing these like kind of viral things that have this virality effect that, brings a lot of new people into your audience. Now, I'm more of a realist at this point in my social media career. And when you mentioned about talking to Linda about, whether it be the social media is down, the business is down, like what else am I going to do? I would make a comment of myself that there was a point in the past couple of years that like was my peak.
Yeah.
My peak. Because I've accepted that like I was at a point where like that was the most popular, if let's say that would be the phrase, like that was the most popular that I've ever been. And honestly, for me, it was great because that was right when I started Sour Strip. So it was a really good strategy at the time. I never thought I'd kind of be on the decline. And both of, we've seen kind of everyone, social media has kind of changed. I don't want to say ever since like TikTok kind of came around, but it's changed over the past couple of years when COVID came and we stopped doing expos and stuff. And I would say that our social media has slowly declined.
Yep.
Is the pill to swallow on it.
Yeah, of course.
What are your thoughts on declining notoriety? And because I feel like since we started, we never had this, let's say, Love Island effect that you're going like this and you spike up. Our trajectory was over time. We grew. And there was never a time where it kind of dipped.
Now we're in the bear market.
Yeah, we are in the bear market.
Yeah, so I think I know exactly. I'm glad this is a good point, right? And I think you're being too hard on yourself. One, okay, like for example, if Christian was at like 900,000 subs and he just switched it on. He switched on, hit 1 million. I think if you wanted to, like you could have just hit 1 million subscribers. If you wanted to just go all in on TikTok, you could. Your TikTok is made. I still got 2 million views from popping balloons, but you could just switch it on and do that. I think you're acting like as if you've done it before, you can't do it again. And so that's why I'm chilling. Last year, I haven't uploaded as much YouTube because, well, first of all, I'm building a house, so I'm kind of homeless at the moment. I'm literally, was back in my mom's house there, now I'm here. I'm all over the place. I don't have a studio like this. And so I'm waiting until I have a good reason to upload and I'll do a really cool series. But I am not worried about that. And I think you can always just switch it on. Like, for example, let's say someone who's blown up this. Greg just said, okay, came out of nowhere. Dude's like, I don't know what age he is. He's a lot older, he's a decade older than us, right? You're like in your early 30s. I just turned 30 a few months ago. You're talking to us as if we're like old men has-beens past it. You could start like TikTok or a new app today and blow up. And there's another cool one. I was doing a podcast yesterday with, there's Legacy Loading. You were on it. And they're talking about like Jesse James West was uploading for like 6 or 8 years. And just in the last year, he just got a viral video and blown up. So I think you definitely get caught up in the views and stuff a lot more. Like I'm a bit more mellow with it. I'm like, as long as I'm still making money, business is going well. I know if I ever want to switch it on, I could do it. And I will get to a period where I'm like just under 500,000 subs. I'm gonna get that. Like when I decide to commit, if I uploaded daily videos, and hired a videographer, pay him a couple grand per month, get an editor, you just do it. And I believe I can do it. I believe. Look how much views and subscribers you got in a podcast in a month. So most people would kill for that. Well, I think you're being hard on yourself.
I do agree. I always, and I bring this up every time. I feel like the second half of the podcast always goes into a deep therapy, and I feel like people probably like, Max, therapy. Are these just internal problems that you have that you're trying to ask?
Like Max just wants my opinion.
No, but I like to talk to people because I know the mindset and the headspace that I get in, and it's interesting seeing other people who, quantifiable data is quantifiable data, right? Numbers are numbers, and I see maybe your Instagram, your YouTube, and I understand, like I can see that your interactions are down versus where they were. Like, how does that ever like mess with your headspace of, I guess you were always growing, and now it's not that same upward path?
For sure. Like, absolutely. I'm not saying, I don't care, because it does have real world effect on your business and your sales, but not as much as I thought. Like I'm still earning a ton a month and still living a 1% life. Like literally, like you can actually like I think I was watching, you and David, and you're talking about like Game and Red Pill and all that, and it's like you can look at what is it? It's like looks, money, status, and all this, and it's like when I quantify everything, I'm living a great life. I'm doing something I love. Just bought a villa in Spain. I'm have an elite network of people earning more than a doctor and a lawyer. All these jobs that are like considered elite. So I'm like, that keeps me calm. I'm like, life is still amazing. But does it affect me that I'm like, I would like more, and that, oh yeah, you see a decline? For sure.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world. And I think if you do get so caught up in views and likes, you're letting the Zuck win. The
Zuck.
Yeah, you're letting social media get your head. And there was an amazing, what's that? The documentary, The Social Dilemma.
Right.
Have you watched
no,
that?
Yeah.
Like I watched that, and mostly I disagree with all those documentaries, like, all those crazy vegan ones and the fear mongering ones. But I thought The Social Dilemma was actually quite good. And that how it does rewire us to like rate ourselves on how much likes a picture gets. And, maybe you love the picture.
Well, I guess as weird as it sounds, like everyone, is like, don't care about likes or don't care about views.
Yeah.
But to be honest, as someone who's in the social media realm, that's the only kind of metric we can.
No, I agree. Like, I agree with you, but I would say, like, always do your best to increase viewer retention.
Yeah.
Build a bigger audience, get more views. That's awesome. More people seeing your content, the more lives that are going to be improved, more value. But I think if you need to take it with a pinch of salt, and that if you do let it affect you negatively, it's not going to make you make better content.
Yeah.
Being upset over your likes and views isn't going to improve things. And I do it the whole time. And Linda's actually great for snapping me out of it.
Yeah.
And, it's just someone there to be like, you're amazing. Like, keep going. And sometimes I can be like, oh, no one wants to watch this. Oh, no one wants to see this. And so she's great to snap me out of that. And she's right.
As someone for a long time, I don't know if you still do it, Rob, for as long as I knew him, he was dead set on every single day I'm going to upload an Instagram photo.
Yeah.
You no longer
do that. I only stopped that, I think it was about just over a year ago during the pandemic. There was a point where I was like, oh God, I was like, I'm all out of throwbacks.
So being someone who, was super hardcore into the, uploading content and like, I guess the vanity that comes along with social media, what was the turning point where you stopped? Because everyone, when you upload a photo, you acknowledge, you get this little dopamine hit of regardless of the likes are going to affect my day. But if you upload a photo, it gets, let's say, 8,000 likes, or you uploaded a photo and it got 100,000 likes, you would be like, oh my God, this 100, like it feels good.
I know.
At what point did you stop caring about the metrics of social media?
It was actually like one of the first days. So I uploaded daily on Instagram for like 3 years. And it was one of the first days that I was having a stressful day, and I just left it, and I just put my phone away for the evening, and I relaxed, and I looked around and I go, oh,
nothing happened.
The world hasn't ended. And then that's when I kind of realized that. I was like, oh, business hasn't failed. The world hasn't ended. And I'm like, oh, maybe I was, taking it a bit too seriously.
Well, to be honest, I got that mindset for a while. I don't want to say I look at people who make YouTube videos as harder working than anyone else, who like only do Instagram. No, I have my own views on how because there's a reason why everyone on Instagram doesn't do YouTube, because YouTube is hard.
I agree. I completely
very hard.
Agree. I completely agree.
I hold it to this kind of high standard because I've been doing it for so long. And for me, I look at it as like, okay, I'm uploading at this point in my life. I try to upload 2 videos a week.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I would always feel that if I didn't upload a video, if you didn't upload a photo or whatever, you would feel like you're either letting people down or people are thinking you're not working as hard. And I would think that if I don't put this video up, that everyone's going to be like, oh my God, he's given up. He's pathetic. He's like, just coasting right now. And I agree with you, where the day that you realize that if you don't upload this photo, and it sounds weird talking about it, right?
I know, but it's true. And it's probably pretty interesting to listen to.
So when I would feel that when I would not upload a YouTube video, I was like, the world's going to crumble.
Yeah.
And same kind of thing you realized is the day that I was like, hey, I'm not uploading today, even though I've stuck to the schedule forever, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Because I think we care more than other
anyone
people
else.
care.
So I was doing a talk on stage last week in Ireland, and I think the best quote added to the list, one of the best quotes that I came out with that day, we're kind of talking about this topic, and it says, "No one cares but you."
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's in everything in life. Like, we're always so thinking, oh, everyone's going to care. Everyone's going to think I'm not working hard enough. Everyone's going to think I'm a failure. Everyone's going to think. And it's like, people have so much shit in their lives that they are not thinking about your problems. They've got so much problems that they're not thinking about everyone else's.
I guess let's say as a YouTuber, we think about creating content beyond the days of just the upload.
Yeah.
But the consumer is just like, oh, they uploaded. That's what I'm thinking about this person. They're not sitting around like, I wonder when Rob's going to upload. I wonder when, there it is. I'm going to watch. Yeah. Okay, what's the next thing upload? They're just like, they uploaded. Okay, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to consume it. I really enjoyed it. Or I hated it, I'm gonna leave a negative comment, and then I'm gonna go on my life. Does the worry of the word that no one wants to hear? Does the worry of becoming irrelevant ever come across your mind, or scare you, or think it like, I had my peak, I didn't take advantage of this when I see other people, like I didn't get on TikTok when I should.
Yes.
I didn't start doing these challenges like I should. Everyone else, people who started after me are surpassing me. And I've been doing this for so long. Yeah,
no, that absolutely does. I'd be lying. We'd all be lying if we said, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. But you know what? I was having this conversation with someone. You know what you might as well be saying? I should have invested in Microsoft in the 90s. Oh, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was at. You will drive yourself insane if you just kind of look at the past and you don't focus on the present or even the future. If you keep dwelling on the past and say, I should have done this, you're going to actually ruin your mental health, and you're going to drive yourself insane for no good reason. And so it's like what I said, everyone is where they're meant to be.
Yeah.
And every decision that you've made has brought you here. And do you like your life?
I do.
You love your life. I love my life.
I guess with YouTube and social media as your full-time job, I guess it really comes down to like an ego thing of feeling, some people, they think they deserve to be somewhere in life. I think when you start going down the rabbit hole of social media, you feel like you deserve these views. You deserve like, my physique is better than this guy. Why is he getting more likes than him? I'm like way funnier than this guy. When you start getting this like cocky, the world revolves around you, and you just kind of take a step back and be like, it doesn't. No one cares. But no one cares about me as much as I do. It's
this crazy social experiment. And also to go back on what you said about the fear of becoming irrelevant and dropping off. It's like, you can always do something else. Like I think for example, okay, I just built this villa right in Marbella, and I renovated it. I was like the foreman on it, like, you know what I mean? I was there every day telling people on where to go, and now I've got like this new love for property, and like people are like asking me for all this property advice, and this is just the first thing I've ever done, and people are like, oh, who's your builder? And like I've gotten this my renovation guy, like numerous clients, like 7-figure clients, like, and I'm like, I can do anything.
Yeah. No,
I'm like, if you actually took me out of the fitness industry and someone handed me a camera and say, you have to become a photographer, you have to become a videographer, you have to become a renovation guy, you have to become to sell properties, you have to be a car salesman, I could fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, actually good.
It's interesting about every step gets you to where you're at in this life.
Yeah.
And I think maybe someone like you've dedicated so much, we both dedicated so much of our lives to like social media. In my mind, I'm like, oh, that's just who I'm going to be forever. And I can't even wrap my head around the concept that
me too.
It's like, it's like this thing led to this next thing, but I can't even wrap my head around what if social media is the thing that gets me to the next thing that I'm doing in my life. I'm like, there's no way.
Exactly.
No, I'm social media. Like, social media is the only thing.
I know. And so for the record, I don't think I'm going to ever actually doing anything different than being in fitness industry in some way, being online. But knowing that I could is calming. And with you, okay, right? Like, just for example, you just started a podcast recently, okay? And it's like, and the best example is Joe Rogan, who's the #1 podcast in the world. He's 54.
Yeah.
Like, That could be you in 24. Like, you've so much time.
Yeah.
We've got so much time. And sometimes I can wreck my head thinking like, oh God, I'm in my 30s. We're so young, bro.
Comparison is the death of all joy or something.
Joy.
Yeah.
And so Gary Vee even comes out with great YouTube videos. I know it's so cliche about like, if you're 30, you're actually only getting started. And I do feel like that. And buying a house and renovating it, like, made me feel really young. Because in a sense that, like, I was like, oh, I'm literally just getting going. Like, I'm actually only coming into myself in life. I love some guy that came up to me and showed me a picture that me and him got. It was like the 2000s. It was the Alpha Land Tour.
Right.
Remember Alpha Elite Tour? It was in Chicago. You know, we went all over Europe and stuff. And he showed me a picture of me and him. And first of all, I was like, thank you so much. Like, it's just so nice to meet you again.
Right.
But then second of all, I looked at my face and I was like a kid. I was like, who the hell would subscribe to this guy?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on in life. I literally looked like a child. And then, like, you know, I look at ourselves now. We're men. We're only coming into ourselves. Like, we really are only coming into ourselves. So let's say we delete our YouTube videos, deleted Instagram, everything. We could start fresh right now, and you could literally, you're the same as everyone else. You can just get going.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that everything leads to kind of the next thing you're supposed to be doing in life. Yeah. And I think when you've been doing something for so long, you just assume that that is the only thing you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And it's not easy to wrap your head around that something could be after this because you're so laser focused.
But I don't think I really do think me and you will be doing. We've been in it so long that like we've withstood the test of time. Like, there's so many people that started when we started that have dropped off completely.
Yeah, like 90% of them.
90%. And so I think we have withstood the test of time. So I do think we'll always be doing something like this, but there will be add-ons. Yeah. You know, like, this is an add-on. Yeah. I think this is going to become huge. I have a gut feeling that this is going to become huge.
If you have a good feeling, then I have a good feeling.
I have a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling. I can tell.
No, I think the gut feeling is from the Jameson.
Yeah, the Jameson. But it's like, you can always do an add-on. Like, sorry, Max, you just started Sarah Strips, what, 2-3 years ago?
Almost 3 years ago.
Like, and it only really blew up the last year. Like, it went like crazy the last year.
It's
only getting started, bro. I'm telling you.
What is going on, guys? I am Maxx Chewning, your host. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. If you want to see the full, magical, lovely episode, just click the link down in the description or search Don't Be Sour on your favorite podcast streaming service. And remember, thank you for tuning in.